just the gentle marching. Okay? 1, left, right, left, right, left, right. Wait, right. Okay, and you guys know, clap in between. Can someone clap if I got my hands? Yeah. All right, you guys go ahead. Okay, and now we're going to have Bob fill in. Okay, so thank you and welcome to Celebrate Sunday at the Victoria Truth Center. For those of you who don't know me, most everyone does, but for those of you who don't, my name is Reverend Lesia Kohut, and I'm the spiritual director here. Thank you for joining us in person and joining us online. Before we go any further, I want to find out, is there anyone here for the first time today? Somebody just walked in like a ray of sunshine. Hi, welcome. What is your name?
Julie.
Julie.
Yeah.
Nice to have you with us, Julie. Hey, everyone, can we let Julie know how much we love and appreciate that she's here? We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. Julie. All right, let's get Julie in. Wonderful, thank you. Now, do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Friends bringing friends. Awesome. Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so whether it is your first time here or you have been coming for some time, we come here and we come to do one thing and one thing only. And that is to remember that essentially, love is all there is. That love is the only thing going on, that everyone and everything that is, was, and ever will be is love. Now sometimes love goes by different names. It can be called energy, it can be called universe, it can go by source or spirit or even God. It can go by creativity. And it can be just pure energy, especially if you want to go into that quantum field of infinite possibilities. But what we're talking about is that it's the only thing that is happening. That's it. There's nothing else. There's not love and, it's love. Love is all there is. So that means that each and every one of us is love. And not just a little of it, and not just sometimes, and not on special occasions, but all of it, all the time. So Linda is love, Julie is love, Sarah is love, Mary is love, that clock on the wall is love. This incredible, amazing community that is growing by leaps and bounds, this is an expression of love that is forever evolving and becoming a greater, greater expression of what it already is. And so that's what we're here to celebrate. That's what we're here to remind ourselves of. That's what we're here to remind each other of. So how does that sound as someone who just walked in for the first time today? Okay, fantastic. All right, well, welcome. And as we are loving everyone and everything up and remembering that that's sort of what we are, we're also remembering where we're doing this. That we are doing this on the unceded lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations, and that we are so incredibly grateful to be able to live and breathe and work and play right here, right now. That there's an invitation that has been extended, that we are graciously accepting so that we can move forward together with strength, integrity, vision, and stewardship of these incredible, amazing lands and these communities that are growing and evolving on those lands. All right, so now we're moving into our meditative piece, and you are welcome to sing along and follow along with Bob. Thank you.
Open my eyes and see.
to know the love. To know and trust that love truly is all there is. And that with every breath, with every beat of our hearts, every thought, every word, every action step, that this is love expressing right here, right now, and always. So as I anchor myself in the knowing that love is all there is right here, right now, and always, I'm so grateful to know that our time together today is founded in love. And not only is it founded in love, but it is pure love expressing through each and every individual, through every single thought, every single phrase, every single note, every single harmony that is sung. There is only love. And as we allow ourselves the opportunity to keep focusing on that love can only grow. It can only be expressed and experienced more fully from moment to moment to moment. And so as we continue to endeavor to expressing and experiencing a greater amount of that incredible, amazing, energetic flow that is the very beingness, that is the very activity and interconnectivity of everyone and everything, that love that each and every one of us is experienced and expressed that much more fully out into the world every single moment. And so I'm grateful for each and every member of this community that is here, each and every member of this community that is on the way, knowing that this incredible opportunity to live life lovingly continues from moment to moment to moment on through eternity. And so grateful that each member that is here, each individual is committed to doing so in whatever way speaks to them. I'm so grateful to know that as we do so individually, as we do so collectively, we shine more brightly. We illuminate the entire path before us, enveloping everyone and everything in its path, knowing that that love comes back to us multiplied abundantly. And so knowing that there is always more, and we are always more than, I simply release my word as law, knowing, trusting that love is at the core, love is at the helm, love is all there is. And gratefully, celebratively, and reverentially I say, and so it is. All right, thank you very much, Bob, for that lovely music. Oh, I thank you for everyone for participating and just holding space in that beautiful, beautiful feeling of love and interconnectivity that is being experienced and expressed right here. So, today is the last Sunday of this month, and today is the last Sunday that we're looking at this theme of rising above with our affirmation, in letting go, I rise above. And so this is the last opportunity, at least for this sort of theme, to talk about what that means for you. Because we've had not just this last month, but 2 months of letting go based on David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. And I gotta tell you, this book has been so incredibly impactful for me, which is why it got an extension of 2 months, not just the one. But I've also heard stories and I've heard nuggets of insight and wisdom from many members in our community about how this book and the letting go technique is impacting people's lives in our community. And so whether it is about letting go or surrender or some form of rising above, I'm curious to know, just for the next few minutes, who would like to share what it is that's coming up for them right now in this moment. Whether it's where you are in this moment compared to yesterday, compared to last week, or compared to 2 months ago. What does rising above and letting go mean in your life right now? Who would like to offer something? Oh, Kathy. Let's go to my face.
Really?
Okay.
Surrender is my word for this year.
Hey, okay.
I just missed the 2 months. Anyway, one way that I found it really helpful was with sleep. And I just go to bed every night surrendering. I might sleep, I might not sleep. It doesn't matter. I always get enough rest. I always get enough sleep. And I just surrender and I go to sleep.
That's beautiful. And there's so much about what he talks about letting go of the resistance to whatever it is that we might think. You know, and in Buddhist terms, it might be the attachment to the outcome, right? But if we just let go of that and just allow, it's amazing what can happen, like a good night's rest. Again and again and again. Thank you. All right. Who else would like to offer something? There's been a lot to contemplate. Sula would like to offer something.
I just wanted to share an experience that I had last night where I was invited to this party and there were so many fears of who's gonna, I didn't know any, I knew, okay, I was gonna be there, my friend, and all the stories were rolling around in my head, and then I was like, oh, I'm not feeling well, like all the spiral downward, and I'm like, no, I made a commitment, I'm making a commitment to show up in connection and be open to the magic that comes when I let go of the stories, even though it feels hard. And I went and it was very magical, and I feel filled.
Oh.
I feel filled up and connected. In possibility.
Yeah. Amazing. And letting go of the stories that we tell or the ideas that we've had up until now about who we are, how others see us, or what something might turn out. By letting go of all of that and opening up to the magic of what can be, that's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. Because ultimately, who and what we are, it's always there, right? The reason that we don't experience it is because we put these blocks, we put these blockages, or these things in the way. And when we get rid of those things, then we get to experience who and what we truly are, and we get to experience the magic of what's possible. Thank you. One more share. Val.
I just let go of the place I was living in. I moved out yesterday, and possession took place. So now it's the magic of what's next.
Wow. Oh, wow. That is huge. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Okay, so thank you. So much that can happen if we just let go of things that we've been holding on to. Whether it is thoughts, whether it is ideas, whether it is constructs or stories that we have told that maybe work for some time, but ultimately we need to start telling new stories. Because if we don't, that incredible, amazing infinitude, that power, that presence, that awesomeness that is that same power as the blazing sun in the sky, that sun that is pouring through these windows right now, finally, that is the entire universe, that is the infinite potentiality of the quantum field. That's what it is that we're looking to experience. That's what it is that we are looking to unleash out into the world. And we can't do it if we continue to box ourselves in by the stories that we've been telling, the thoughts we've been thinking, the beliefs that we've been holding on to up until now, right? And that includes homes that we've been living in. All right. Okay, thank you everybody. That was fantastic. So rising above and letting go, I rise above. Thank you for a wonderful month of nuggets and insights and ahas. And there's another good thing coming for May. Just hold on. All right, so now we're going to move along to Bob Solo. Bob, do you want to let people know what it is he's chosen and why?
I think there is only love. And for some reason, I was looking through this book. It's a song written by John Lennon. And it's simply called Love. And it's very reflective. So I thought, letting go, reflection. So this is the time just to kind of sit back, relax. And I think love is a big part of it.
Thank you, Bob. That was really lovely. But, you know, when I used to work at the chiropractic clinic, there was a Spotify playlist called Peaceful Piano that we used to play at the clinic, and it was like 21 hours of just peaceful solo piano music. That could have been on there. That was so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for offering that today. Come on down and join us in the center. Okay, so, there's so many different ways I thought of starting today. All right, I'm going to start with the meditation quote that we had this morning for those who weren't there. There is a self-healing power within that is activated by continual surrender. And I'm going to tell you, this whole last week for me, that's what the entire week was all about. But before I tell you about what that entire week was like and how it was that way, I just want to go back to David Hawkins' book of Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, because I actually finally finished reading the book this past week, or actually not this past week, the week before. And I gotta tell you, because it has been such a huge part of our community every Sunday and every Wednesday for the last 2 months, because it is what my spiritual salon, my fellow ministerial former classmates and ministers, actually, some are still students, but some are ministers, it's the book that we're using in our Salon 23 discussions every single week. I feel like this book has just been part of like the very fabric of my existence for every single day for the last 2 months. And so when I finally finished reading it, like those last words, I was kind of like, what do I do now? And not as in like, oh, I can't let go anymore, but it's just, this book has been such a part of my life. It's been such a companion. It's been this thing that I've been leaning on and inspired by, not just for myself, but to share with this community as we grow and evolve together. And so there was this bittersweet feeling as I read those last few words, which were so impactful, which I will read at the end of my talk. But what I realized was also how incredibly impactful this book has been. How much it has not changed my perception and understanding of who and what I am, but has given me another tool, a very practical tool, this letting go technique, in order to remember who and what I truly am, in order to rise above anything that I might be experiencing, anything that I might be thinking, anything that might be going on in my life, to remember that beyond all of that, underneath all of that, within all of that, there is that in me that knows. There is that in me that has every single answer I could ever possibly require to live my most amazing life, but more importantly, to get through whatever it is I'm navigating in the moment. And this last week, almost every single moment for me, up until probably yesterday, was about navigating feeling sick. Navigating feeling sick in ways that I hadn't experienced in years. And it's not that it took me by surprise, it's not that, I haven't felt sick before, but it was a really interesting opportunity to lean into, especially one of the chapters towards the end of the book, to really sort of put this letting go technique to the test. And so there's a chapter in this book called Physician Heal Thyself. okay? Like, it's a common phrase, right? And I thought, for the last talk that I'm going to do metaphysician, heal thyself, right? Because that's what we're all about here, using our minds in order to create a reality, right? But as I read through this chapter, as I experienced what I experienced by letting go again and again and again for hours and days on end this last week, which really felt more like 6 months, to be honest, since I stood here. But it's only been a week. It was just an incredible opportunity to remember. And so in this chapter, just very sort of quickly, excuse me, he talks about a 50-year-old doctor who from the outside looked fine. He was physically fit, he ate really well, he had a great marriage, he had a loving family, he had a great practice, and on the outside, everything looked fine. Yet on the inside, there's about 2 pages worth of diagnoses and diseases and conditions that this doctor was going through at only 50 years of age. And because of all this stuff, I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and you're thinking, just when it couldn't possibly get any, oh, there's even more. You know, it's like those Ginsu knives, you know, you get this, this, and this, but wait, there's more. and so it goes on and on and on and on. And then eventually it just gets to the point where it says that there were friends of his who were making bets that he wouldn't make it past 53 because his body was going to give out. And so he kept going to see all these different specialists, all these doctors. He had surgeries that were scheduled for all of these various conditions that nothing was working on or enough for. And so eventually he just got to the point where he thought, none of this is working. None of this is working, and if I don't do something drastically different, I'm going to die. And so what he ended up doing, and I don't know the history behind it, but he ended up trying the letting go technique. And so it took about a year, but in letting go again and again, consciously again and again and again, he was able to let go of whatever it is that was holding in place all of the trauma and the drama and the emotions that were literally making him sick. And so it started with one thing, which then opened up, you know, another thing, and loosened so another thing could be let go of. And it was just this process, but it was continual. And it took him, the last one that I remember, it was a sugar addiction. It took him almost a year to navigate that one, until he could finally eat whatever he wanted to eat and didn't have to worry about diabetes or hypoglycemia or any of that kind of stuff. But it took consistent practice and work every day, all the time. That was the thing that he was focused on. And so then he started touring and talking about how he healed himself of all of these ailments, all of these diseases, all of these conditions by using this letting go technique. And then there's a chapter in the book called Vision. And it says how at one point when he's talking to this huge crowd of people, telling them about the story about how he healed himself by letting go, someone in the audience raises their hand and goes, well, if you've healed yourself of all of these conditions and diseases, why do you still wear glasses? Now, I had flipped ahead about a month or a couple of weeks in, and I had seen this chapter, and I'm like, ooh, I want to see how to heal my vision, right? So I knew that this was coming. But I thought, yeah, you know, why? And so his response was, well, because I never actually saw that as a condition or a disease or like there was something wrong. But as soon as that person asked him, he kind of went, you know what, you're right though. And it wasn't a sort of like, if I am God, then this, but that's essentially what he was thinking. Like if the body, if the mind, if spirit is so infinitely capable of healing all of these other conditions and all of these other things, if it is pure wholeness at its core, then why does he still need, you know, these things on his face in order to see properly? So what he decided to do was get rid of his glasses. And the thing was with his glasses, he had been prescribed trifocals. So he couldn't see like near, he couldn't see middle, he couldn't see far, like the guy just couldn't really see. But he decided to let go and surrender to whatever it is that was getting in the way, so that he could have 20/20 vision again. And so it talks about in the book about how he went through this and how at first, like he started driving with his glasses. And when he stopped driving with his glasses, how it was this like, you know, kind of like, oh my gosh, am I going to get home in one piece? You know, am I going to get home without like crashing into someone else or whatever? And even though there was a ton of anxiety and there was a ton of resistance to doing this, he was determined to prove that this letting go technique would allow him to surrender enough that he could actually come back to 20/20 vision. And eventually, he did. And it was around the 6-week mark where all of the anxiety and the resistance to this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, are undetermined, where he just finally let that go. And once he let that go, he realized that the whole time what had been happening was he had been seeing exactly what he needed to see. Not necessarily what he wanted to see, but what he needed to see in order to navigate the moment. He had gotten home safe, he never had one accident. There was a whole bunch of stuff that he couldn't do. He couldn't read, he couldn't work on the computer, he couldn't watch television, he couldn't go to the movies. So there was a whole bunch of stuff in his life that he really, really sort of had to wrap around his mind and go like, how essential is this to my life? Is it of meaning? Is it of value? Which is stuff that David Hawkins talks about at the beginning of the book. And over time, his vision returned, and over time he realized that there was so much in his life that was not necessary in order for him to live his most amazing life. In order for him to express as this incredible, amazing, energetic flow that is so whole, that is so pure, that is so boundless and limitless in scope, but all he had to do was let go of these stories, of these programs that he had signed up for somewhere along the way that got in the way of him expressing as who and what he truly is. So guess who decided to try some of this stuff? Okay, now, putting myself out on a limb here, and I am wearing my glasses now because I wouldn't be able to read the quotes I have for you if I didn't have one. But I have driven many times without my glasses in the last couple of weeks. And I gotta tell you, not wearing glasses, for those of us who have glasses here, like you might understand, taking them off, for me, feels incredibly liberating. It feels like I only see what I need to see. I don't need to see all of that extra stuff. A lot of that extra stuff, you know what it ends up doing? It distracts us. It distracts us from whatever it is that requires our attention in the present moment. And so this entire last week, when I was at home feeling sick, the thing that I let go of is my glasses. I left them, I mean, I had them, I would know where they were, and I think it was Wednesday when I finally thought, okay, I wouldn't mind watching a television show. But on that first day, on Monday, when it felt like my head was on fire, when I felt so exhausted that I couldn't move, when I felt so nauseous that I couldn't even drink, never mind eat, I just thought, you know what, I'm letting go of my glasses so that I can see only what I need to see. And then it really dawned on me that this is an opportunity for me to really lean into every single symptom and every single feeling underneath those symptoms to see how those things correlate in my life. So where there was pain, where is pain showing up in my life? Or when I think of pain, what is it that I'm really feeling when I feel that pain? When I feel the burning of my head, what is the feeling underneath that? And you know what? A lot of it came down to what are people going to think if they find out that the lead minister is sick? What are other people going to think if they find out that the person who's standing here at the front of the room yammering on every single week about how infinite and boundless and limitless we are has a cold? What am I doing wrong that I got this cold in the first place? So all of these questions were amazing questions that just kept coming up, and every single time a question came up, every single time a symptom came up, every single time any kind of feeling came up, I just allowed it to come up. I accepted it, I acknowledged this is what's happening, and then just sat with it for as long as was necessary until I could let it go. And it wasn't even this like, I want to let it go, it's just, this is what's happening, being with it, and then realizing at some point, it's gone. And so those first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, were intense. It was just moment of letting go, letting go, letting go. and becoming so aware of what it was that I was experiencing, it was profound. And I just realized that, it's not about showing up as that perfect self every single moment of every single day. We're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience no matter what. That's just happening all the time, okay? We're pure energy. That's not changing. What changes is how we experience ourselves as pure energy, how we choose to experience ourselves. And even if we get a cold, even if we navigate cold and flu-like symptoms, I mean, it was getting down to the point where I'm like, I don't want to talk to people about it because I don't want to tell the story. I don't want to necessarily give it a name or a label, something that David Hawkins talks about in the book, because then I'm getting energy to it. I'm getting energy to a program that he talks about. So how do I even talk about what it is that I'm going through? Well, I minimized it as much as I possibly could, and really only talked to people I needed to talk to about it. But basically would say, I'm navigating this. Not that, it is a cold, not that it is a flu, not that it is COVID, not that it is whatever. It's just, this is what's happening. That's it. And for me, I just kept saying, it was this incredible opportunity to become more and more aware of what I can let go of. And so that's what I did. So in the book, David Hawkins says, stop giving the physical disorder a name. Do not label it. A label is a whole program. Surrender what is actually felt, which are the sensations themselves. We cannot feel a disease. When I read this, I thought, oh, that's actually pretty cool. It's not the cancer. It's not a condition like alcoholism. It's not even a cold. It's the things that come with those things that we experience. And so let's get curious about what it is that we're feeling rather than attaching an entire program or label to it and just kind of going, that's it. That's distraction. And that's also not being personally responsible, which is one of the things that we teach in New Thought. He says the same is true with our feelings. Instead of putting labels and names on feelings, we can simply feel the feelings and let go of the energy behind them. Now, it's funny that you're in the audience today because when we first moved here, Glenn and I belonged to CSL Victoria, and there's someone at CSL Victoria, Ina Kelson, who for me is one of the most amazing walkers of the talk I have ever met. She was 90-something years old when we met her, and every time she came in on a Sunday, she would just come in and she would say, "Hello, magnificence!" Because that is what she saw in every single individual. It didn't matter what you looked like, what you felt like, how old you were, whatever. You were magnificence expressing all the time, and that's what she tuned into. Now, one of the things that she told me one time, and I can't remember if it was when I was feeling sick or not, she was from Jamaica. And so she had an accent. And so I believe it was when I was feeling sick. And she just looked at me and she said, "If you don't name it, you can't claim it." All right? David Hawkins 101. Don't put a label on it. You don't put a label on it. You don't ascribe a whole program to it. And then you don't buy into it. So this just speaks to how we're always choosing, right? Every moment is an opportunity for us to choose. Every moment is an opportunity for us to focus on what it is that's happening or who and what we truly are and how we get to navigate what's happening as who and what we truly are. Now, one of the things that I also thought about quite a bit this last week was how a few years ago, I really decided to shift perspective on what being sick means. And even in ministerial studies towards the end, there was one day when we had to find an article or something like that that really inspired us and then present a 10-minute talk on it. And there was an article by Modern Health Systems about how germs are not the reason that we get sick. And I thought, oh, I really like this. This is super cool. And it was all about the mindset that we have, about our perspective, about, is it stuff on the outside that is happening that is affecting how we experience life? Or is it what we think about what we're experiencing that actually affects how we experience life? And so the whole point of this article was that instead of feeling sick or feeling like sickness is something that is taking you down, or that you have been attacked by some kind of bug or virus or whatever sort of thing, that it is an opportunity to let go. It's an opportunity to release something that was already trying to get out anyway. And now, this is just one way of the body kind of going, you want to get rid of this? Here, let me help you. Right? And so, instead of going, oh, I have a cold, oh my God, I feel horrible, can also go, oh my God, I have a cold. It's the best thing ever, because I get to release all of this crap that I don't need anymore, right? Now, it may not feel like that in the moment, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because we get to choose what it is that we want to feel and how we want to experience our moments. And if we can do something as silly as jump up and down, even in our minds, our body doesn't know whether we're doing it for real or not, but we get to shift perspective, and that little tiny shift in perspective can mean wellness versus sickness in an instant. There is a quote towards the end of the book that David Hawkins says, eventually, everything is surrendered that stands in the way of presence. When everything is surrendered that stands in the way, it is there, shining brilliantly forth. And so it was interesting. A few weeks ago at Elevate, someone said that what she realized was as she was letting go, she finally got to the present moment. Because there was nothing else standing in the way. But what's so cool is that in the present moment, the thing that we really become aware of, that we really get to experience, is that presence, that healing power that is always present within, that love that each and every one of us truly is, and not just relational or friend love. Love that is that incredible, amazing, energetic flow that is the beingness of all that is. That's what we're left with. And that's what this whole spiritual journey is about. To get back to that as often as we possibly can, until all we're doing is being pulled by that remembrance, so that all we're doing is constantly letting go. Constantly, every single moment of every single day, not even necessarily being that aware of it anymore, because it's just become so habitual to let go of anything that gets in the way of us experience that wholeness, that power, that presence that we truly are. So I'm going to leave you with this quote. Serious spiritual work is a continual willingness to let things go as they arise. It is the willingness to surrender wanting to control everything as it arises, the willingness to surrender wanting to change it and to have it our way. By surrendering whatever is cycling up, it eventually disappears. You disappear it by choosing to be one with it and refusing to want to change it as it arises. Every moment of every day is an opportunity for us to heal, to grow, to connect. And when it comes to the title of that chapter, Physician Heal Thyself, it's not so much about the healing, whether you're a physician or a metaphysician. In Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote that there is no process of healing, but there is a process in healing. Healing itself, there's nothing to heal because we are completely whole and perfect. But the process in the healing is the amount of time it takes us to remember that we are that perfection. And so for us, it's not so much about healing ourselves as it is about revealing who and what we truly are every moment of every day. Thank you, and so it is. All right, so it's time for some conscious conversation now, and let's break up into groups that are, let's say, like 4 people, so that, maybe 5, I'm not counting how many are here today, but 4-ish people, so that everybody has a chance to contribute to the conversation, okay? And then I will bring the meditation bowl to come back. There are some situations where you want to let things go. And I feel like I am missing that ability, or I'm not and it reminds me when I was younger, and I considered make some different choices in her life. She's very different. This is feeling the delivery. It's a bit tragic. But I was trying to get my parents to also take more responsibility, especially when she was younger. And my parents would always say, give it up to the Lord. And I would want to say, I'm sure the Lord would be okay if you chose to reject her, take your daughter to a mental health service. And get some guidance and get some information because from where I'm sitting, it all just looks like I realize now you guys have to I think what I was trying to
and it seems to be
and it's the idea of the giving up an expectation that she's going to not be a drug addict. I feel like what am I and what can I how can I make sure I was raised that was my parents' expectation. They would believe me.
Isn't that also why we have things like this? Because, sorry, I'm very emotional. That's
I started to notice symptoms. Not to yeah, that's just kind of like
Letting go of certain ideas.
yeah, I enjoy it. I couldn't put through the survey doctor. But naturally, something is happening.
The support and the love.
Our bodies go through some kind of process. That's perfection. And accepting that.
You have to meet them where they're at.
Two-minute warnings.
And my mother told me that my sister said, well, I don't know if I can speak here. And immediately I thought,
What did you have to say?
no, me, I'm so loud. Just me. So like she's a complete I wouldn't believe that. Oh, that's possible. Oh, that's how they discovered. But I thought, my heart thing. I actually got that when it was crossed. I thought it was crossed by a plane. Maybe her thoughts place and participation in dental healthcare.
Yes.
So he's
Yes, and
we don't really communicate everything like that.
Not really kind of one yet, but this was to go on a Sunday morning twice a month. So it's another way of but it's I think it's just a way of getting this
Because we could choose to look at,
form
oh, what's wrong with this?
that's why there's different ways of saying people really, and some people are talking about actually the ability, and some people are trying to so it's just
Realized we didn't turn the lights on. All right, so now is the time in our time together where we talk about how we invest in our spiritual center. And our spiritual center is not just the space that we're gathered in, but it's who and what we are. So how are we investing in remembering and in activating our souls in this incredible, amazing, energetic flow that we are? Well, practice is one day, by being here is another, and then you just notice that not only is there an opportunity to donate using a little tithing envelope and putting it into the silver bowl, but we now accept donations via e-transfer at info@victoriatruthcenter.org, noting that center is spelled R-E. So if you feel you have been spiritually nourished here today, if you feel that you have been spiritually inspired, then we welcome however it is that you're willing to offer anything to the spiritual center. So however it is that you're offering, I invite you to place your hands on your heart as we declare this abundance affirmation together. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive, by joyously contributing to my spiritual
I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly, and so it is.
And so I invite you to just close your eyes or lower your gaze, whatever it is that feels right and good in this moment. Steeping ourselves in even more gratitude, knowing that gratitude is this incredible, amazing abundance magnet. The more we find to be grateful for, the more we recognize gratitude in everyone and everything, the more gratitude expresses more fully in, through, and as everyone and everything. So knowing that our time together today has been founded in gratitude, has been founded in abundance, and has been founded in the love that each and every one of us is, I'm so grateful to know that as we move out into the coming hours, days, and week ahead, that love that we share, that love we truly are, continues to grow, continues to blossom, continues to make its way out into the world, up leveling the consciousness of not just each and every individual, but of our world itself. So for all of this and so much more, I simply say thank you, feeling all of the blessings, all of the love, all of the abundance that is always in flow, and so it is. All right, some announcements. I would like to invite Val Lloyd up to the front, please. Surprise!
What did I do?
Well, here's what you did. You committed to being a member, and we didn't get to celebrate you at the AGM. Only had 16 of our new members up on stage. So I would like to officially present you with your new membership card, and then invite you to come and choose a pen, a BTC pen, and a journal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. And then if you could just turn around and everyone, let's tell Val how much we love and appreciate her. She's a BTC member. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. Thank you. All right. And that may happen a few more times because there's still a handful of cards that haven't been handed. So anyway, okay, so announcements. Wednesday is a new month, May 1st, and so we're going to have a new theme, and the Elevate Trio is back for our Wednesday evening extravaganza. If you've been, if you haven't been, we invite you to join us on Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8:30 p.m. right here for Elevate, where we come together to expand our mind, open our heart, and activate our souls. There are so many new members in our community, and now is a great time to let us know how would you like to be of service. We're actually going to go through all the membership forms, see what it is that people wrote on there, but don't be shy if there are ways that you would like to be of service, that you would like to shine your light on our community. Please let me or someone on the board know so that we can help you to showcase your skills as soon as possible. What can we know for you? If you or someone else is in need of prayer, there is a tiny little box over there with some prayer request forms. Just fill out one of those forms, fold it up, put it in the box, and our BTC prayer team will pray for you and yours affirmatively. And if you're not already on the newsletter list, then we invite you to sign up. There's a newsletter list at the back. It's the best way to know what's going on in the community. And community announcements. Anyone in the community have something that they would like to share? Julie.
So I'm an upcoming author, and I'm publishing a book this week, and it's coming out on Tuesday, and then there's going to be a party on the 5th in James Bay.
So where's the party at?
So the party, so in James Bay at the Church of Truth.
Okay.
It's at 2:30 on Sunday.
There's a silent DJ there.
Okay. Yes, I do there, and I remember having somebody doing art,
There.
Yes. And there'll be cake and community connection. So it's all about bringing support around families so that they can be emotionally supported and have a healthy parenting approach with their children and live life lovingly, pretty much. That's what it means.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can you give, after this, give us the information and we can include it in our newsletter, and then we can even post it on our Facebook page.
Wow. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank
That's fantastic. Congratulations. What is the title of your book?
Different than your parents.
Different Than Your Parents. All right.
I also wanted to add to that, just briefly, that even if you're not a parent, parents need non-parent support as well. It takes a community to raise children.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome, whether you have older kids or younger
Yeah.
or no kids.
Right on. Thank you for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, anybody else have something that they would like to announce or share? No? All right. Well, then it's time to get up once again. Bob's going to lead us in the last round for this month of One Big Family by Gary Lynn Flooring.